Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to be giving you guys the 4 concepts that you should be focused on in your journey in order to progress from white belt to blue belt. These are the things that we as coaches consider when we are ranking somebody up from white belt to blue belt, and they are things that you should be focusing on in your jiu-jitsu journey as a whole. So without further ado, here we go. So the first concept we're going to be going over, especially important for white belts, is the concept of survival. So this may seem like a simple one. Yeah, I'm not getting tapped, I'm rolling, I'm trying to win, and so on. But you're missing the point of survival. Survival is not just trying to roll and win against somebody your own level. It's trying to put yourself in positions and monitor all of the little things that you're doing in order to not give your opponent something that they can use against you. So not only are you trying to survive being submitted or being smashed or being punched or things like that, but you are also trying to control how you are breathing. You are trying to mitigate the amount of pressure that an individual can put on you by properly building frames and structures to make it so if you have somebody who is significantly heavier than you, significantly bigger than you, and they're trying to smash you, that you can actually do your normal techniques and you can actually breathe without struggling and without feeling like you're using a whole bunch of strength to hold somebody off of you. That is the key to the first concept of survivability. So when you are rolling with your partners and you're in a bad situation, while you should be obviously thinking about getting out and doing your thing, the biggest concept that I want everybody to know, and this is a very important concept from white belt to blue belt, is not giving your opponent things that they can use against you. So leaving arms out, separating your arms together, bringing your base too close together. All of the different things that will make it so your opponent will take advantage of your position and put you in harm's way. So that's the first concept. Let's get to the next one. Concept number 2, escapes. So escapes may sound very straightforward, just like survival. Okay, so I am just escaping a bad position, but it's a lot more than that. There are a lot of intricacies and details that we have to be thinking about when we are doing escapes. For one, am I escaping in a way that doesn't allow my opponent to put me in more danger in the process? If I'm putting my head in harm's way as I'm trying to get out of something and I'm leaving myself open to punches or something like that, that's not something I want to do. And that's something that you should be avoiding and you should be considering when you are trying to get out. Remember, just getting out of a bad position isn't the whole goal. I mean, that is a goal, but if it puts you in more harm's way doing that, then it kind of defeats the purpose of escaping. Just like the survival. If I am surviving, but I'm also allowing my opponent to smash me, allowing myself to get all of my energy taken by surviving, then it's not really doing us any benefit in learning the proper techniques of surviving. That's the same thing with escape. If an escape requires you to use a lot of energy or to use a lot of athleticism to do it, then you're not doing it right. There's plenty of escapes and there's plenty of things that you can be doing and details that you can master to make it so the escapes that you're doing, even if the individual is bigger than you, doesn't require a huge amount of energy on your part. The last thing that we want to do is to escape a position and be so tired from the escape that we cannot continue to defend ourselves. And now our opponent is coming back onto us or coming back into us, and they are now pressuring us with more attacks. So we want to make sure that we are maintaining not only our breathing, but also our energy as we are escaping. And that really is dependent on using proper technique. So when you're escaping and when you are thinking about this concept, remember, it has to be technical. If you're just escaping because you have a lot of strength and a lot of speed and you're just bursting out of a situation, that's not jiu-jitsu. And it's not going to work the first time you meet somebody who can stop it, all right? Or somebody who has more strength or more athleticism than you. So that is why we need to be focused on the key concepts of escaping, which is not using our energy, or rather controlling our energy, and making sure that we are being technical and not putting ourselves in further danger. Concept number 3, this is controlling your opponent. We get into a position a lot where we are trying to grapple somebody. We've survived, we've escaped a bad position, maybe we have gotten to a good position, and now we are looking to submit. But submissions can't happen without the element of control. So in order to control somebody, there are many things that we have to consider. One, are we controlling ourselves? If you're not controlling yourself, if you're not controlling your position, your balance, where you're putting your center of gravity, where your partner is moving, and what options they have to escape. So where are their hips right now? Also, where is my breathing at? If I am using, just like the last ones, just like escaping and survival, if I'm using a lot of energy to control my partner, more energy than they're using, I'm gonna burn out. And as soon as they get out of that position, I'm not gonna have energy, and they're going to have energy, and then I'm in trouble. So controlling your partner, being able to use less energy than them to actually make them work to escape and put yourself in a better position, or look to start isolating submissions, look to start moving to a more dominant position. That is the key to control. And these are things that we need to work on. And these are things that I see a lot of newer individuals and even some more advanced individuals really missing when we're doing roles and when I'm watching tournaments and things like that, because you see them moving so quickly, trying to beat their opponent, trying to get to a submission, and they're forgetting the whole position control element of jiu-jitsu, the whole control of your opponent. If I can control my opponent, there's no reason for me to move fast. There's no reason for me to use energy. So we want to be focused on the elements of control when we are rolling, because if we are not doing that, then the last concept that we're going to be going over, we might as well not even go to. Concept number 4 is getting submissions. So may seem very straightforward, just like the previous 3. However, without the previous 3 and the elements in the previous 3, getting to a submission isn't going to happen. You're skipping too many steps. We see a lot of individuals who will get a dominant position after they've worked really hard to escape. They've survived using a whole bunch of energy. Now they're tired. They've gotten to a point of control, and they go for a submission without the proper technique, and they end up losing it, and they're back at square one. Now they're surviving again. Survival, escapes, control all sets you up for a submission. If you do not follow those steps correctly, you will not have the energy to finish a submission. Also, I'm sure you hear me all the time in class, if you're in class, or if you haven't heard it, maybe you're listening to your own instructor. They say position before submission. Position before submission, what that is doing is it is prioritizing control before going for a finish. And these are things that you have to consider. If I am swinging for an armbar without properly getting my position and my hips correctly, all I am doing is giving my partner, my opponent, the opportunity to come, get out of that, and start smashing me again. And I don't want to do that. If I've worked hard to get to that position, and I've worked hard to earn that dominant position and earn that arm, I need to make sure that I keep it. So submission is an extremely important concept, but it has to have the concepts before it to make it work. So if I just go for a submission without the control, without using all of my tools, without controlling my breathing, without controlling my opponent, and all of the other things that we've been over, you're gonna just be wasting your time. So those are the 4 concepts, but we have one more element that I have to share with you because it is the most important element out of all of those 4 concepts. It is the element that makes all of those concepts work, and it is the element that we look for when you are progressing from white belt to blue belt. So what is that element? That element is rolling. If you are not doing free roll, if you are just coming in and you are just drilling, you can't possibly apply any of the concepts that we just went over. Survival. There is no survival in drilling. Drilling does not put you in a pressured situation where you need to work on survival. Then you go to escapes. Escapes. What am I escaping from in a drill? I can drill escapes all day long, but until somebody's giving me active resistance and not letting me do it, I can't possibly know how to properly escape without using a bunch of energy, or how to adapt when my partner overcomes my escape and I have to switch to something else. Then we have control. Control, if I am not rolling with somebody, if I'm not actively engaged with somebody, what am I controlling? You can't work control in a drill. You can work the concepts of where to hold somebody and how to pressure your body onto them, but you can't actively work control and feel what it's like to try to hold somebody if you're not rolling. And then lastly, submissions. There are no submissions in drills. We can train a submission, we can teach a submission, but you're not getting a submission unless it is under resistance. So that is one of the key concepts that we look for when you're going from white to blue. And we have individuals, or we've had individuals in the past, who have decided that they were going to drill but then skip out during rolling and never roll. Those individuals, unfortunately, I can't give you a rank. I can't give you a blue belt, because you are doing the theory without the application. You're taking your piano lessons without playing any music, as I use my music analogies a lot. So when you are considering going from white belt to blue belt, and when you are considering trying to advance yourself, and even higher than that, even blue belt to purple belt and so on, if you're not rolling and if you're not adapting to these concepts in your game, you're not going to go any further than where you are right now. So these are the things we look for, and I hope this video was a good explanation to give some of you guys some illumination on your path forward, or some things that you should be focused on your path forward to get you to the next step. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.